Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. It's Sunday. I'm trying to wake up, making myself some tea, stuff like that, and start with my videos. I've noticed that most people are not interested in my puffy P Diddy videos, but it's okay because I figure that some new people might come on because of the Puffy videos. And then as long as I keep making my Sussex Squad, Meghan and Harry videos, it should be okay. Because this case, I'm interested in it from a legal perspective, as I have said. I'm not interested in Puffy. I mean, and I don't know much about him, but even in the comments, I learn a lot more every day. So I become maybe a little bit more biased. I feel like so many people are familiar with the music industry in a way that I just am not. And so they know a lot of things about him and they're just like, lock this man up and throw away the key. We don't want to see him. We don't want to hear anything. He's not entitled to a defense. Just lock him up in jail and throw away the key. I am a little bit less, dismissive from a legal perspective. Morally, I think he's corrupt and he's horrible. But from the lawyer in me, it's just like, wow, this is an interesting case for a defense attorney. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was watching this interview. It's like an oldie from Wendy. Not exactly my favorite show or anything like that. She has known to be someone that really grates on my nerves, but I went back to this YouTube video because somehow I was fed this YouTube video by YouTube, and it was really fascinating to see and to listen to. The things he said were so ironic. I mean, considering where he currently is, I was just like, wow. But one of the things that I've been thinking about from the legal perspective of this whole thing is whether or not this man can get a fair trial in the Southern District of New York, because it just really sounds to me as though most of the public has made up its mind about his guilt and the fact that he should spend the rest of his life in jail. I mean, it just, even in the comment section, which I don't have a huge YouTube channel, I don't get a lot of comments, but I would say that 90% of the comments I've gotten, if not 100%, are against this defendant, and they feel that he should rot in jail pretty much, and they absolutely despise him. And so I you know I mean, I understand on a certain level because the little bit that I've seen of him, and just hearing the story and seeing that video of what he did to his girlfriend Cassie has really, I think, prejudiced me against him. Like, I mean, just that alone. And there are people who have been following him for decades. They really know the ins and outs. They start talking about Tupac and Biggie and all kinds of things that I'm just like not privy to, because it was never something, it was never a world that I was interested in. You know what I'm saying? So I never really followed on that deep level. But so people come on and they know such deep history about this man that I fear, from like the legal perspective, I mean, if I were his defense lawyer, that it's impossible to get a fair trial in the Southern District of New York. Now, the question would then become, well, then where would venue be for a case like this? Because I don't think that anti Diddy sentiment are limited to New York or to the Southern District of New York for that matter. Um, and I would say I have no idea. I know he owns homes in the Hamptons. He owns homes in Miami. He owns homes in Los Angeles. Um, you know, Maybe moving the case, trying to move the case to, is it Nassau County? Where's the Hamptons? I mean, I think there's a court. Well, actually, maybe they would be governed by the Southern District of New York. Just moving the case out of New York completely might be an idea, but I don't know where you would put this case that would get this man a fair trial because, you know, frankly, among the black population in particular, I think his goose is cooked. But then when you look at something like this is like his party, right? This is one of his parties that Wendy Williams showed on her show, and you see that people were basically tripped over themselves to go to these parties. Now they're rewriting history and they're turning the parties into this demonic experience that this man brought all these people over to to um to drug them and to traffic them and to do all sorts of things. But these sorts of images to me paint a different picture, of people who wanted to be there. They wanted to be there. And a lot of these people, they wanted all of the tawdry activities that went along with that. They wanted the alcohol, they wanted the drugs, and some of them, yes, wanted the other things, the freak offs or whatever you want to call it. They wanted that, right? And I think they participated in it because it was at the time fun. They're having a jolly good time. Look at them, right? Just look at them. And then when it's convenient, let's just rewrite history and say that this man did this and this man did that, but that, he or she was unwilling at the time. I am not buying this in every case. I saw the video of what he did to his girlfriend, Cassie. I think he should bear the consequences, whether it's a year in prison, 2 years, whatever, community service, restitution, and so on and so forth. Because that was just outrageous. That was just completely outrageous. It was a domestic battery. It was a, assault. This was an assault. But as I have said, an assault on your girlfriend is not a RICO violation necessarily, right? And the fact that you were in a hotel room with your girlfriend, likewise, is not a RICO violation necessarily. The prosecution will have to certainly provide us with more evidence and proof to meet all the elements of RICO. In particular, I'm focusing on RICO because this is the charge that will get him life in prison, right? How did he commercially benefit from this experience, including the stay at this hotel with his girlfriend where he beat her up? The problem is, though, back to the venue of the case in the Southern District of New York, is that my sense is, just from just my lawyer's side, and I don't know anything about criminal law, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is all really just knee-jerk reactions and, armchair lawyering. You know what I mean? Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research, and really, you don't need to do any research. You already know all the facts. I'm the one that needs to do the research. But, my sense is that in the Southern District of New York, defendants like him don't stand a prayer, right? And the jury pool there will not be fabulous. And I think that black jurors, in particular for this particular case, will be this man's worst nightmare because the average black juror is going to know all of the backstories that I personally don't know because I am one of the minority of black people who I don't follow this type of personality. I'm not interested in this type of music. I'm just not interested in this kind of world. So I'm almost like a blank slate. And each day, people are telling me more and more things that sort of make that slate less blank. I think he's going to have a very tough time finding jurors with a blank slate, especially in the black community where everybody knows about the music industry and knows his tawdry, sordid past. So this man needs to get this case to a place where people don't know anything about the music industry, right? Frankly, he needs to get predominantly white jurors, and that's a risk because, that there's the risk that there will be prejudice in a different kind of way, not based on knowledge of his history, and all the things he's allegedly done and all the gossip, but just a sort of more generalized prejudice against people like him. So he does run the risk of getting life in prison also with a white jury. I don't know what he's going to do, but he needs to find jurors who are blank slates like myself, frankly. And I don't know that he's going to be able to find that in the Black community, because most of them, if you go on any of these YouTube channels and so on, all of the comments are very negative against this defendant. And these are Black people predominantly, I think, right? Very, very negative against this defendant. And, I think they're going to send him, you know, they're going to send him packing for the rest of his life. So he has to be very careful, A, about where this case is tried, and if he can, on any basis at all, and I was his lawyer, I would be looking to get that case out of the Southern District of New York. Where would I put it? I have no idea. And B, the jury selection, because, this idea of, Black this, Black that, Blacks are going to be, I think, his worst nightmare as jurors, because they all have very, very strong opinions about the music, about the rappers, about the history, about Tupac and Biggie and this and that, and Kim and the diary and all of this. And he's cooked. He's cooked as far as jurors are concerned, right? I think they're going to have to be very, very clever about the jurors. And I was watching something else the other day where they suggested that the lawyers are wrong and he should get Black lawyers. I'm not even sure about that. I think he needs a balance. I mean, he can't make this all about black and white, really. It's not about black and white, but it is. I mean, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? He's cooked. He's cooked because, a Black jury right now, I don't think is going to be that sympathetic, not based on all of the commentary that I've seen on social media. And a white jury is a risk because they may be less patient in terms of, like, this guy is just a Black guy, and there could be that syndrome where they just, blanketly make decisions. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know how this man finds an impartial jury, but it's his constitutional right. Let's be fair, to have an impartial jury to hear this case, because whatever happened with Biggie and Tupac has nothing to do with this particular case, right? Whatever happened with Kim, his not is it Kim, his ex lover, partner, is has nothing to do with this particular racketeering case. You know, these may be different cases, right? But the idea is that because people know about all of these things, they've just put everything in this soup. It's like a soup, and I think he's cooked. It's badly cooked soup, and he's no angel. He's a monster by all accounts, but I don't even know that for a fact. I only know that based on what I've been hearing. You see, I don't really have the facts. I haven't read the complaint. I have not seen any of these videotapes, right? So I don't really know. I just lost my voice. I don't really know facts. I only know what I hear on social media. And most people are going to be like that. It's a very biased jury pool. I think that he needs to think about doing something with the venue of the case, and how is he going to strategize selecting jurors on this case. Anyway, that's all for this one. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.